Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dishin with a Dietitian. I came on a little early so that I would make sure that we were connected and that we were doing so great. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm looking forward to talking to you about this very relevant and timely topic because we have a lot going on in the world, and so sometimes it makes sense for me to connect you with topics that are just they just are so relevant that it really gives me the subject matter for a live stream that I always want to keep you in the know and make sure that you are hearing me. So if you are there, just give me the thumbs up, let me know, and I will look forward to having you. Oh, I see you guys are here. Look at that. I came on early and so did you. So thank you very much for joining me. And let me know, Tom, how are you? How's everything with you? So this is a topic that I feel is so relevant and just can't be ignored with everything going on. So I wanted to touch base with you and maybe rejuvenate you and reinforce your goals and some steps that you might consider taking that will help you to go forward in perhaps a better way or a different way. So I think during this time, it always makes sense to connect. Hi, Richard. How are you? So I'm so glad you guys are on, and I love to hear from you and hear how you're doing. And Boo, go you. Hi, Tom. Doing great. Hope all is well with you. Thanks, Tom. It is. It is. It's a very different world, and the center looks very, very different today with everything COVID. So we're doing great, and we're very grateful to be open and doing well, which is great. And I'm very grateful because I have been able to have individual nutrition consults through Zoom, and both in my private practice as well as some remote through the hospital. And it's a wonderful thing. It's actually, I'm finding it more effective because people can go into their kitchen, get me what they're eating, and we can look at these things together. So it's been different, but it's actually, I think, might be a new norm because it's much more effective, I think. So I'm looking forward to connecting with more people in this format, even after we have a vaccine, which will be great. So I hope you guys are doing well, and let me know once we get started, which will be in about a minute, about any stresses you're having, and if you find during this time that your eating habits have changed. So here we go. It is 7 o'clock. So welcome everybody to this live stream, which is a very timely and very relevant topic, as we will look at the connection between eating and emotions, that we have just gone through an unprecedented election, as well as we are still in the midst of a pandemic whose numbers seem to be going up. We did get great news today about the possibility of a vaccine approval. However, we're still in the thick of it, and we still have a winter to go through. So for many, this stress has really taken a toll on their healthy habits, and that you may find, let me know if you have been eating differently, if you have been gaining weight, if you have not been moving as much as you used to move because your gym is closed or because just the stress is getting you down. So let me know, because this is very important for us to discuss. You really want to get your words out, because when we hold things in, they take on a whole different platform. And when we let them out, those words that we use, our language, is a powerful handle by which we can better manage our emotions. So I encourage you to find a friend, to write down your words, to journal, to meditate, but really to get these words out. I also want you to look to see, why are you eating what you're eating? Because it's very interesting to understand the connection between eating and emotions. You may watch the news and it might get you a little anxious, or you might come home at the end of the day and feel a little stressed, or you might be sitting and feeling a little bored. and you take a look and on your counter and there's a plate of cookies or some muffins, or maybe there's a loaf of white French baguette, and so you eat it because it's there. And gosh darn it, in that minute, don't you feel better? Because you get a little rush, a little release, a little buzz. It raises a neurotransmitter in your brain called dopamine, and dopamine gives you a high. When somebody gets hooked on cocaine or heroin, they do so because of this rise in dopamine. And food does the same thing. And what food will do for you, it will make you addicted. Just like a drug addict who gets hooked to cocaine or heroin, they do so for this release, this rush. But actually, it turns out this wasn't the high you're looking for. So if you ever find that you were looking for different foods and nothing, you just keep eating and eating and eating, and nothing is really quite hitting the notes, keep in mind, it had nothing to do with the food. It had everything to do with the driver. You were eating to get this rise in dopamine, to get this rush, this release, but this wasn't even the high you're looking for. You're looking for the high from exercising and letting those endorphins roll, and you're looking for the high from eating better and getting your words out so you can go forward in a better way. So, Tom, your wife is now my workout buddy. I love it. So that's what you want to do. You want to establish new patterns for exercise and new healthier habits. And one is to enlist a partner or to enlist a friend. So go you. Now you've got somebody to exercise with and to eat and an eating buddy, and you support each other. And I love that. That's just awesome because it takes a village. And sometimes you're going to be stronger than she is, and sometimes she will be the other way, but you'll catch each other and you'll support each other. I totally love that. And Richard, the stress totally has gotten to me. I totally get it. It's gotten me down. I'm so reluctant to go out and even just for a short walk. So here's the deal, Richard, because I get that totally. Because we're in a risk category, so we don't want to get this. We don't want to get sick. So feel free to go outside. Outside is actually the best place to be because you've got air circulating all the time. Wear your mask. And if you go for a walk, just stay away from other people. That's your key. I think the walking is a powerful mood changer for two reasons. Number one, you go outside, so you need to have a change in atmosphere and an environment. And while the weather is good, this is definitely the time to do it. And the other is the environment creates the behavior. When you go outside, you change your environment. So you're going to change your behavior. I can tell you that sometimes I'm in my bedroom. I'm not hungry at all. I come down in my kitchen and all of a sudden I start grazing. Why? Because I'm in my kitchen. So I wasn't hungry 3 seconds ago. I'm not hungry now. Wrong room. Keep going. So going outside is fabulous. And aerobic exercise physically changes where your brain thought processes come from. When you're stressed, you think from the back of the brain, the amygdala, rash, impulsive thoughts. Eat that cookie, go ahead. But now, when you go for a walk, you physically change where your thought processes come. They come from the frontal lobe, the cortex, much more well thought out, much calmer, less impulsive, less rash. So now you see, oh, wow, I'm actually feeling okay. The cookie, that wasn't doing it for me. And when you exercise, you can feel how your body moves, and that makes a big difference. So there are many benefits of exercise. But another one is connecting with your body. And we tend to disconnect our neck from the rest of the body, particularly when we're stressed and we want to eat something. We don't think, let me look first. But you should look first, because while health is a powerful motivator, I think vanity is much more tangible. Look down, feel your body, and when you exercise, it helps you to stay in touch. So I get it, Richard, that the stress is getting to you, but it's not worth it. You're welcome. You guys are amazing, because you need to take it back. You want to move over from the passenger seat playing victim and reacting to everything around you with food to come to the driver's seat, and you're totally worth it. So in order to make a change, you've got to ask yourself, what is it that I want? You really have to know your goals and why it is that you're doing this. And the second thing you've got to know is that you've got to have the confidence to know that you've got the tools, that you can make this change, and that making a change is worth it. So think about, backtrack a little bit. What time of the day is getting you? I'm going to share with you my hardest time of the day, and you can definitely, I would love to hear what yours is. So for me, my hardest time of the day is at night. During the day, I'm pretty busy, so I can keep going. But when I'm at night after dinner, if I sit in my kitchen and watch TV, I graze because I'm in my kitchen. Wrong room. If I go into my bedroom or I go into another room of the house, I don't eat. So there's my trick. Back it up. It's after dinner. It goes into my in the kitchen. I eat. Instead, after dinner, go into another room, problem solved. And that's what I have to do more consistently. I want you to think about where are you going awry and what's something you could do. Back up so that you can make a new chain and lead to new habits. Maybe you've got to have sneakers by the door. Sometimes if you are not working, if you have no structure in your day, it's helpful to put structure in a day that doesn't otherwise have it. If you wake up, the first thing you should do is put on your workout clothes, because once you're halfway there, you're the other half is ready to go. And like Nike says, don't think about it, just do it. And take that dose of medicine. That exercise is the number one stress reliever, and it will make you feel better and let you get stronger. I am so glad. Oh, Karen, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. It's so true. Accountability, right? Write it down. I should have put my glasses on. I'm sorry. Grab a partner. Yep, it will be a big plus. Totally a big plus. Eating a big bowl of homemade Swiss chard soup. Wow, that sounds delicious. Go you. And that is what we call fabulous because A, it's the greens, which we want, and also because it has a lot of water and fiber. So it has a low caloric density, meaning you're going to get a big bowl of soup for not a lot of calories. It'll be yummy, it'll be hearty, it'll be delicious and satisfying and full of flavor. That's a win-win. And watching Dishin with the Dietitian, I mean, really, that's a win-win-win combination. Hi, Tom. How are you? If home, we are okay. We have trouble if we are out running errands and get hungry. So there are more. We're more tempted, right, to stop and get something crappy and fast. So think about that. Always pre-plan. That is key to all of this. So think about where you're going to be. Are you if you haven't eaten for a while and you know you just want to get out the door, what around you is something you can get? So you can always get a salad. You can always get salad with grilled chicken. You can always stop into a supermarket and get a yogurt, or you could always get a turkey sandwich on whole wheat or sourdough or rye or pumpernickel, some high fiber bread. The other thing you could do is you can always bring with you snacks that can stay. So whole wheat crackers with a little PB2 or peanut butter, or Laughing Cow cheese stays at room temperature. So you could put that with some crackers as well. Or you could just quickly put in the Baby Bell cheese into a pocket to make a grilled cheese in a pocket and just grab it with you with a piece of fruit, so that if you need to eat when you're out. And definitely bring drinks. I always bring something to drink because we tend to confuse hunger and thirst. So have something to drink, and then you'll know if you're really truly hungry or not, or if it was maybe just that you were thirsty. But pre-planning, particularly if you're going to be out doing errands, is key. But there are places that you can stop should you not have something or should you get caught. So the other thing you could do is you could bring a bar with you. I like the small mini kind now, makes small mini ones. Those work. And the Quest bars, I like the oatmeal, the chocolate chip oatmeal or the peanut butter brownie smash. But if it's just a snack, I would only eat half of them. They're about 200 calories for the bar, but I would only eat half because you only need about 100 calorie snack at that time. So I would do that just to give you a little both protein and fiber. The fiber will get your blood sugar up, but the protein will hold it up. So it'll keep your blood sugar steady, and that will keep you feeling full longer. So that's what you're looking for whenever you want either a snack or a meal, is a combination of a carbohydrate and protein. The other thing you could keep, Tom, is you could get these 100-calorie packs of nuts, and that would also take care of you because they're pre-portioned. So at least you know exactly what you ate. You didn't just randomly grab something. And these are things you could just keep in the car for those times when you're out and you need to have just a little something. So either a bar or the nuts, or maybe a yogurt and fruit, or peanut butter and crackers, or grilled cheese in a pocket. Any of those things will hold you and and bridge the gap till you get home and you have your next meal. But I think we've all had that time where we get caught because we're out and all of a sudden we're hungry. I know I have. But the other thing that you find, tell me if you guys have found this, is that sometimes I think I'm hungry I'm ready to eat, but I can't get to the food for some reason. Maybe I'm working or what have you. And then it passes, it goes away. So there's a sign that my body was used to having food at that time. I was looking to have food at that time, but I wasn't really hunger because it passed. So I was okay. It wasn't like my blood sugars dropped and now I was feeling a little lightheaded or dizzy. I wasn't. It just goes away. So notice that. It's kind of interesting to find as you start to teach yourself when you really need to eat and when you don't. But how are you guys all doing in terms of stress and eating? Has it changed you being in this lockdown? Has it changed you feeling the winter coming on? Has that impacted your eating at all? Or has it made a difference in what you're choosing? Are you finding that you have foods in your house that you never bought before all of this? I know I am, and it makes total sense because people are buying to self-medicate. And once you understand that, once you have that knowledge, then you can take it back because then you sort of can laugh at it. Now I see what I've been doing. Of course, it makes total sense. But you don't want to end up with two problems. I don't know if you guys have heard the term COVID 15 or now COVID 50, that there's so many people. And now they even I saw a segment on the news today about kids who are gaining weight left and right because they're not moving and they're eating. So it's happening to all of us. And it's important to take this pause so we can redirect and take it back because you want it definitely. And one other note is that they do find that people who are obese or even overweight do not fare as well if they should get coronavirus. So it is a risk factor for all chronic disease, including coronavirus. It's another reason to keep yourself in shape and keep that weight down. But let me know how you're doing. And who else? So, Tom, that was a great one. We all are. And Karen, that soup is phenomenal. So, go you guys. So, soup, particularly in the winter, is one anytime, but it's really hearty and yummy. And when you make a big pot of soup, you can portion it out so that you have it during that week, or you can freeze some of it so that you can have it at another time. And it's a great way to include a lot of veggies. Just make sure you have protein with each meal. So, Karen, I'm going to hope you have some protein with that meal as well. But that's a great one. Go you. That's excellent. Any of you been cooking a lot? More cooking more during this time than otherwise? Let me know because I'm going to wait to hear from you so that I can hear how you're doing because it'll be great. But so far, you guys, I love the participation in the live stream. It totally enriches a live stream is to have all of you on. I love it. I can tell you that knowing how to make these substitutions in recipes, knowing how to substitute a whole wheat pasta for white pasta, this makes a huge difference and helps to boost immunity for you. So that's what you're looking for, particularly at this time. You want foods to taste good, but you also want them to nourish you. And part of that, particularly at this time, is to boost your immunity. So should you get sick. And the other thing that's happening, let me know what you people are doing what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is totally different now. And let me know if this is making it easier, more stressful, harder. How are you doing? Hi, Susan. How are you? Ground turkey and kidney beans. You're having right now. So go you. So and make sure that ground turkey is 93 to 99% lean. But go you, ground turkey and kidney beans. Wow. And Richard, how are you? You've been using the whole wheat pasta. And what do you think? Isn't that awesome? Go you. Um, the whole wheat pasta. Do you know? Let me know what you think, Richard. I have to tell you that since we've done it, we've never gone back. Never. And we don't miss the white pasta at all. And it is good. Go you. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, I do that whole wheat pasta in many, many ways. Some of them you've seen me cook on the earlier videos, and as soon as I get to 1,000, I will cook with you again. But I love using tomatoes and garlic and the whole wheat pasta, and then whatever protein you like. It is just delicious. You also can melt a baby bell cheese and mix in some Laughing Cow cheese and have pasta with cheese. How yummy is that? So all kinds of things you can do with pasta and put it into soups if you'd like. So totally love it. If you have a soup with whole wheat pasta and beans, that's a complete protein. It'll really help to keep you feeling full longer. So go you, Richard, for making the change, the switch to whole wheat pasta. That's awesome. That's just what you want to do. Hi, Susan. How are you? Turkey is 93% lean. That's because you're a rock star. And it's all in the Swiss chard soup. Wow, that's awesome. So you've got the ground turkey. So you're getting plenty of protein there. Go you, Sue. That's awesome. You guys are just fabulous. You're good cooks and you're making yummy food, and food can taste good and be good for you. And food should always hit three notes. So think about why it is we eat and think about what it is food should give us. Food should give us joy and pleasure, right? We should enjoy our food. Food should give us nourishment for sure. We need it for the energy and to boost immunity. And we tend to eat in social situations with other people, like holidays and gatherings. So if you overeat, you go, whoa, too much. Then how do you feel? Oh, right? You feel bloated, distended, sometimes in agony. So it's not hitting all three notes. Food should always hit all three notes. It should give you nourishment, it should give you joy and pleasure, and we tend to eat in social situations. So if 0 is I am ravenous and 10 is I'm excruciatingly full, I don't want you to go below a 3. I don't also want you to go above a 7. Stay in that middle and you will stay in control and stay on track. That soup sounds great. I know, Tom, doesn't it? It's so good. We will have to have a live stream where we share recipes. Wouldn't that be awesome? I like your suggestion to look down at my body before having that food. Right. That I think it's great. If you don't feel comfortable sitting naked at your dinner table, I don't think your body is yet where you want it to be. So it's a good reminder. You need to connect with with your body and take a look at it. And then you'll see, if you keep looking, you'll see changes as you keep exercising and keep including healthy food choices. I always tell everybody, abs are made in the kitchen. So look at that, because when you eat food, while technologies change, we're wired like cavemen. And so when you eat white bread or the cookies or the candy, your body as a caveman doesn't recognize it as fuel because cavemen didn't have milling. So it doesn't know where to put it. So it deposits the excess in an organ in front of your stomach called the omentum. It's momentum without an M. It's connected to your liver. Over time, you can have a fatty liver, and it pushes the belly out. And many people argue it's your waist, even more than your weight, is a predictor for chronic disease. So always take a look at your waist. You are so on target. Thanks, Richard. That's awesome. I love that. So go you. So that's exactly why I think that we need to, in healthcare, we always talk about advocating for yourself, but this is really about communicating with yourself and about going on a journey of self-discovery and self-empowerment. So while everything around you might be chaotic and stressful, uncertain, this is a place that you can take the control back. And remember the acronym WIN, W-I-N. It's what's important now. What is important to you now is hopefully taking care of yourself, and for not only you, but for everyone around you, because you want to be healthy for everyone else. And only if you do take care of you, can you take care of anybody else. So make sure that this is not about being selfish. This is about being prudent and about not getting sick or endangering anybody else. So you want to really be strong. And the habits you create now, I think that there are a lot of lessons that we're getting from coronavirus. Pre-planning. We don't go to the market as often, perhaps, as we used to. So you should be pre-planning your meals and think about, if you can gather as a group, if you're with other people in your house, sit down with them and think about, ask everybody to participate in this and to find fun recipes and new ideas. I know I've shared with you before, there've been times in my house that people have said to me, it's enough, time to switch up the flavor profiles. And I get it because it's so easy for me to make the same things over and over again. And I'm fine with that, but that might not be great for everybody in the house. So everybody participates in finding different recipes. And then when you guys as a group can discuss which ones you'd like to make that week, then go back and check your pantry, check your fridge through every ingredient in that recipe so that you don't want to go to the supermarket, get home and say, oh, I thought we had garlic or we had lemons. So you want to make sure that you make a list that's so that you can very efficiently get to that market, get in and get out, and make your list by the departments so that you'll know exactly what, when you leave a department, that you got everything you needed in the dairy section or the produce section or what have you. But it's fun to try new things, but pre-planning is key. And also, I think it's not unreasonable to think you get a week's worth of food so that you could go to that video I did on how to know when to throw things and keep things. It will include hacks for letting your foods stay fresher longer so that they can make the week and you can be fine, because there were some amazing hacks in that were game changers in terms of keeping food longer. So these are great lessons that we're learning from coronavirus. And we're also learning, I don't know about you, but there've been many times where I say, I don't think there's anything here to eat. But now, if I'm not going to the market, I look a little closer, I get a little bit more creative. There's plenty of food in my house. I'm sure the same might be true for you. And so you're able to make things like taking kale and turning it into kale soup. So go you. That was awesome. Or Swiss chard and making it into soup. So that's awesome. How else are you? Tell me what else you guys are doing. Are you finding cooking okay? Are you trying different foods? Or are you finding you're going awry? How are you doing? Hi, Tom. How are you? Quick question. Fabulous on supplements. Yep. Good. Hearing a lot about zinc. Yep. And vitamin D with COVID. Yep. Are they good for you? Okay. So zinc. You don't want to add vitamin zinc. You don't want, I wouldn't suggest a vitamin zinc supplement because it interferes with the absorption of magnesium. It's a great question. Very few people have a zinc deficiency. Zinc does have a role in immunity, but very few people. When somebody is zinc deficient, we see something called pica, and you'll know somebody has pica because they tend to, it sounds terrible, but they tend to eat sand and gravel, not knowing why. Maybe there's zinc in sand and gravel, but that's what people do when they have a zinc deficiency. The rare places that you see a zinc deficiency is generally down south, but and I've been down south, but it's really rare for somebody to have a zinc deficiency. In terms of vitamin D has a key role. They're doing much more studies on this with vitamin D, but vitamin D definitely has a role in immunity. So in boosting immunity. And people who are vitamin D deficient don't tend to do as well with COVID as same thing like with obesity. So the best way to get vitamin D is through the sun. However, from mid-October through mid-April, we in Boston are too far from the equator, so we could stand outside all day long and we're just not going to make a lick of vitamin D. So everybody at this time should be taking a vitamin D3 supplement. The base dose is 1,000 international units, but you really want to get your vitamin D level assessed. Almost everybody, particularly in the Northeast, is deficient in vitamin D, but get your vitamin D level assessed because this is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it gets sequestered in your fat cell. Can you take too much? Darn tootin' you can, and it's hard to get rid of. And it'll make your calcium level go up. That will increase heart disease risk. So always get your vitamin D level assessed so that then you can see how you respond to supplementation. Oh, you're welcome, Tom, anytime. Rosemary, how are you? Can you suggest a good pro or prebiotic? The best way, this is also, you guys have great questions. These are great. So the probiotics, if I have to tell you, picture a tube, that'd be your intestines, with millions of little dots inside. And that's all these bacteria that play such a profound role in your health. Now, do you have that picture? And also now let's complicate the picture a little bit by having these circles, these little dots, talk to each other, send signals to each other. That's how intricate a system this is that we're just starting to learn. To take a pre or probiotic would mean for me to say to you that it's this dot that you don't have enough of these dots. So take these to fill in your gap. We're not there yet. And actually, you could be taking too much of something. You could make yourself even more unhealthy, even though you're trying to be healthier. I hope that makes sense. So, and supplements are the wild, wild west of medicine, which means that they're not regulated. Anybody, for a medicine to make it to market, it has to go through years of testing for safety and efficacy. But anybody can make a supplement and just put it out on the shelf. And only if there's enough complaints, and only if there's enough manpower in the FDA, which right now I'm guessing maybe not, will they consider investigating and pulling it from the shelf. So that's little consolation to you and I. So always when you buy a supplement, check a couple of things. Check the USP stamp. It's the United States Pharmacopoeia. It means a manufacturer has paid the United States Pharmacopoeia to ensure what's on the package is in the package. So it has nothing to do with safety. It has to do with the fact that you get what you think you're getting. That's how unregulated this is. And always check the expiration date. Now, when it comes to pre and probiotics, there are different strains, and under each strain, there are different families or species. So you might take one and think, wow, that did make me feel better. However, you buy it again, you now can get a totally different strain. See, it doesn't have to be the same. It's not regulated. So if you do take a pre or probiotic and it does make you feel better, make sure you write down everything on that label. Call that number, the call number on that bottle and or on that package, and say, is this in the next one, in this one here? Because you want to make sure, if otherwise you take something different and it can totally upset the apple cart. The best way to get pre and probiotics is through food. Things like garlic and onions and asparagus, they're all going to give you that. And the absolute best thing to include to give yourself those healthy bacteria in your gut is fiber. That's why I tell everybody fiber is your friend. So fiber is not digestible by humans, but it is by these bacteria. These bacteria, how stunning is this? They have their own DNA, and their DNA allows them to break down fiber. And when they do, they produce byproducts. We call these byproducts metabolites, which things like short-chain fatty acids, which give you great messages to your brain, to boost your mood, to allow you to learn, to reduce your risk of disease. And so fiber really is your friend. And we need more fiber than previously thought. We need at least, what I would love you to try to do is try to get at least 30, it is a lot, so 30 different species of fiber, which means if you start your day in the morning with a bowl of high fiber cereal or oatmeal, that's one. Maybe you have a bowl of fruit, and your fruit has blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and some pineapple. So that's 4. So that's 5. Now you go to lunch, you have a big salad with lettuce, cucumber, celery, cabbage, tomatoes, and carrots. That's now 11. And then you have some whole wheat bread. That's 12. You can do this. But fiber is undigested portion of food. So you need to add fiber gradually to build a tolerance to fiber. Otherwise, remember, it's nature's broom. So if you if you increase too much, I'm going to know exactly what room to find you, because that food is going to go through you like a rocket and you're going to lose the nutrients you were trying to get. So add fiber slowly and drink a lot of water, because you want to flush that fiber through. Otherwise, it will act like a sponge. It'll bloat you, distend you. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. So drink a lot of water. Check the color of your urine. That will tell you how hydrated you are. It should be clear. You should be able to read a newspaper through it. The darker your urine, the more dehydrated you are. Go get some water. Next time you return to the bathroom, it's an automatic feedback mechanism. So you'll get to see how you are. So thanks to you, we do try different recipes. Go you. Now, not the same old, same old. Yay. We use all of your sauces and ideas. Game changer. Go, Susan. I love that. And Tom, you can ask a million more questions. I love them. Can I really have sourdough bread? I know. Isn't that awesome? Still not a fan of whole wheat bread. Totally. Sourdough is fermented. It'll help to give you those those healthy bacteria in your gut. That's just what we're looking to do. Everything for me right now, particularly, it starts in the gut. That's why I always tell everybody it sounds so crude, but if you really want to know how you're doing, look at your poop. Look in the toilet. Your toilet is your data dump. It'll tell you exactly how you're doing. Game changer. Yay. Let me just tell you something. For me, you guys are a game changer because I'm crazy about you. That's what I'm telling you right here, right now. My stress reliever is talking to you. How do you like that? So thank you all because you do it for me. Um, so I'm so happy to see that you're all doing so well and that you're cooking and that you're pre-planning, that you're eating the rainbow, eating different colored fruit, different colored vegetables that give you different antioxidants. That helps to boost immunity. And the best way to get all of these nutrients, the zinc, the magnesium, the vitamin D, except for vitamin D, but everybody else, the best way, the fiber, and whole grains, the omega-3s in fish, and also in canola oil, walnuts, pecans, and flaxseed. The best way to get all of this is through whole food, real food. So that's why I want you to keep including these foods, because food can taste good and be good for you, but this will improve your health as well as your mood. Isn't that stunning? But there is a super highway between your brain and your gut. It's bi-directional through a vein called the venous the venous nerve. It's a superhighway, and it impacts your mood, how you think, how you're feeling. So it's important to give yourself good food so you'll feel better and you'll be able to actually listen and learn. What should we see if we look into the toilet bowl? You should, okay, you're going there, aren't you, Richard? All right, you asked. So here we go. It should be a nice long C. A poop should be a nice long C. And if it isn't, there's something awry, and you should investigate that a little further. So that's what you're looking for. And for when you pee, it should be clear. Shouldn't be dark. So that you need to rehydrate by having some water. Hey JMK, how are you? What if it's a straight line? Great, perfect. If it's that's totally fine. I couldn't help it. That's totally fine. You know what? When you ask questions like this, it actually helps everybody. So it's a good thing. I think that's fine. And you know what? I don't know why, but these live streams, they feel so intimate because I know all of you guys, but I'm sure other people who I don't know maybe listen to these, but it's okay. It's like they're joining in on our little discussion, and that is fabulous. If it helps everybody, that's just what we're looking for. Terrific. Let me give you the update that we are getting closer to 1,000, but we are in the teens away. We're about 15 away from getting 1,000, and then I'll be able to really cook with you, take you to the market, and do even more. But I am still delighted to be able to talk with you and do this now. So anything else? Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if there's anything else that you're doing to help you, things that you're doing differently, if your schedule's changed, any of that. And if not, I think I'm going to let you guys go early. It's actually, wow, look at that. It's been a half an hour. You know, when I talk to you guys, it just flies. It just flies. I'm so happy to be with all of you. Oh, Richard, thank you. I think right back at you. Really, I'm just delighted. And what's stunning is some of you I've known for years, and some of you are new, and it's just so awesome. Oh, you're welcome, Tom. I love it that you're here. It's so good. I can tell you that it's really important to stay healthy, particularly at this time, but it's also a great opportunity to see how you can better manage stress and how you can totally get it out and practice your habits of journaling and exercise and having healthy foods. And that if you go to eat something and you know you're not hungry, even though that pull might be strong, you know you can override it. And the more you override it, the weaker that pull will get and the stronger the habit will be that you change, that you realize that you don't need it. So go you. You're all getting stronger and more empowered, and it's just what I want for all of you. So you're welcome, Rosemary. I'm so glad you guys are all here, and I wish you stay safe, Be well. As always, if there's anything you want me to do a live stream on, please send me a suggestion. You can do it here on YouTube, or you can send it. Dishin with a Dietitian also has a Facebook page, so you can always message me there as well. But thank you so much for joining me on this live stream. Really timely. I just thought that with everything going on, it was important to regroup and to refocus, and for us all to continue to go forward in a great and healthy way. So have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, and thank you for joining me on this live stream. It's been a pleasure hearing from all of you and connecting. Take care. Have a good night. Oh, go you, Karen. Thanks. Bye-bye.